And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Anthony Picente Jr. is our guest. We're talking about Oneida County issues. We were talking about Marcy and what's going on up there. Another one to talk about is Quad C and Danfoss.
Danfoss is another company that obviously has been there now going on, I think it might be the second or entering the third year in terms of their work up there, ramping up to more employees and have been again on the clean room and technology side. They're growing each and every day. Again, another good corporate citizen. They've really blended in well and continue to hire and hope to have probably in the next couple of years, probably around a couple hundred employees.
And I don't expect you to know this number off the top of your head, but the Oneida County taxpayers have really put millions into that Marcy Site, yes?
Well, the Marcy Site, absolutely. The Marcy Site has been what we've been building upon really for 20, you got to go back actually a little now, it's about 22 years, because when the site was first starting being developed, I was over at the state with ESD and then in 1998, and that was when the sites started being built around the state for nanotechnology, and Marcy became one of the three premier sites in New York State. So it's been a long time coming, but it also has the benefit of having that investment, so that when Cree came in, that they had truly a shovel-ready site, so that as we sit here today, they didn't have to go through all of the different permitting, the different connections of sewer and electric and water and all of the different things that go into that have to be installed over time. And even though 20 years is a long time, it's longer than we had hoped. It still was a benefit that when you have a site that is that ready and that pristine in terms of what needs to get done, that all you have to do is come in, grade, put up a building, and begin the connections. That makes it the economic advantage that you have over other places.
Did Cree get any special incentives to come?
Well, numerous incentives. There was, as you recall, when AMS had left, and before they could build with that issue, there was still nearly $600 million on the table from New York State, through the governor's office and Empire State Development, that remained intact, remained in place for the next fab, which we knew we would get. And Cree was a beneficiary of that, as well as a pilot program that had been put in place. That's another thing that was put in place before a company came, so they knew exactly up front what those payments would be in lieu of taxes, and how it would still benefit the county, the town, the school district. So all of those things were in place, and the incentives that are at their behest, was a great benefit. But they're still making $1 billion investment themselves. So it's not all on the backs of taxpayers.
Yeah, you're saying a B.
A billion with a B.
There's still a lot of room up there.
There is. There's still, there's room when that site had been established, and as we look at it, it still has the capacity for what we would call 3 fabs, or 3 large style fabrication centers. And the goal obviously is to get the first one built, which is what we do with Cree. And then look and see whether there is another fab, or whether there's other suppliers that fit in with the overall landscape that Cree needs to develop, whether it's on the lighting end, whether it's on the electric vehicle end, whether it's on the overall sensor end, or what they need. And that's the other benefit now. Our work we have our work cut out for us, because it doesn't just stop there. It has to be more. What
about the other place that's got room is Griffis?
Well, Griffis is still and we touched on our 25th anniversary really of Griffis in terms of the closing, which at the time was a dark day, and has turned into a great business and technology park. Oregon The hardware distributor is building a facility right at the what is the entrance if you're coming in from the Route 49 side of Griffis, on the Floyd Ave side, or the not the Floyd Ave, excuse me, the Floyd town of Floyd side off of Dominic Street and off of Route 49, right at that entranceway to Griffis, where RFA is. The school is directly across from that. On
Used
Griffis,
to be housing in there,
used to
wasn't
be
it?
base housing in the
Yeah.
backside, and that's where Origo will be building. Their state-of-the-art distribution center, another few hundred jobs for people. They're beginning. That construction is taking place and grading as we speak as well, and that's another one that in the next year will be up and running.
Well, talk about distribution centers. Our area has really benefited from distribution centers, have they not?
We have. It started really with, people forget that, Rite Aid, even though it's been gone, was one of the first in Rome. But then when Walmart came in the early 90s to Marcy, and then I was part of that project, but also when I was at ESD, we did Family Dollar in Rome, which is another at Griffis, at the far end of the runway area.
They're big.
Griffis.
You see those tractor trailers in there.
1,000,000 square feet facilities, and no different than, to our neighbors to the east with Tractor Supply, which has been another good citizen and another good area for employment, for a lot of people. So we do. We have a strong, and I think that's what benefits the overall economic strength of the area, that we're diverse in different areas. We have the technology side, we have a distribution side, we have a finance and accounting side. We have, still have manufacturing. So our diversity has maintained itself in order to spread that out, but also attract others to look and see that there are secondary jobs available for whether it's spouses or family members of however, that makes what we're doing so much more attractive.
So I guess we'll never see what happened when the textile industry moved out of our area. Huh? Boy,
Right.
that was a disaster.
That was a disaster.
Short break. We're talking with Anthony Picente. He's the county executive. We'll be right back.